what's interesting about you is apparently, and I'm just seeing this in our chat. You have your fans, and there are some people who just don't like you. Why do people not like you?
I don't know, man. I think it's because the rise to prominence so fast. I mean, as soon as as soon as it started blowing up, of course there's people that were angry that I blew up. And it's the same stuff. You'll see it a lot. There's no new stuff, I guess, because there's nothing really spicy. But when I first started, I'm from Alabama, right? I grew up in a place called Hoax Bluff, Alabama. We had a graduating class of like 18 people. I didn't even graduate. So so I lived there my whole life, and when I started YouTube, I was very self-conscious about how I sounded. So I tried really hard to just not have an accent. So I would be like, Camelot331 here, and we're talking about GameStop today. I would try real hard to just, and I would have to refilm shit. And then I got like 3 or 4 or 5 months in, and I was growing, and the live stream was growing, and I stopped giving a fuck. I was just like, whatever, who cares? So I'd be like, what's up, bitches? And I just started just really leaning into myself and what I sound like in real life, because we started doing meetups and we started doing, going to Montsuri and stuff. And people were like, wow, I didn't think you were like identical in real life to how you are in stream. I'm like, yeah, I got really, really natural at doing this. And then there was a handful of people, probably like literally 2 people, that were claiming there was this giant conspiracy where I had a fake accent and I was actually from Canada or some shit. And it snowballed so hard to where I got swatted. And like there was this guy calling the police on me all the time for no reason, for literally no reason. It was the craziest shit ever. And just because he didn't like me, I talked to him through email once, and he claimed that I didn't deserve to make money on YouTube. And I thought what he was saying was he was against monetization, which I totally have seen people like that. They're like, I'm against I'm like, okay, well, that's weird, but all right. And then they literally like, the guy was like, no, I deserve money. You don't, because you're a liar. Keep in mind, this guy eventually he deleted his channel because he's a freaking psycho. But he messaged my ex-wife on Facebook and said, do you know what's the story of you and Camelot331 / Cody Denson, whatever? And she was like, can you please not message me? And like, I have the original DM, right? She's like, whatever, I don't talk to Cody, blah, blah, blah. Don't message me anymore. And he took a screenshot of it and put it in whatever, like, I guess some program where you can make fake messages, and then made it look like I beat her. As if she would just answer a random message request saying, yes, he beat me. And it's so hard to talk about. If it's hard to talk about, why you randomly messaging this random dude? And then he posted it on Twitter. And I was like, oh, okay. So I messaged my ex-wife because we're on good terms. I guess he's probably like 15 or mentally challenged, so he doesn't realize that things can end on normal terms. And I messaged her. I'm like, did you get a DM from this guy? And she's like, yeah, but it's actually this lady, because he has a fake, of course, it's fake Facebook, because he brings truth, and I'm a liar, right? So she sends me the original DM. She's like, don't message me, like F off, basically. And I took a screenshot and posted it to his tweet. And of course he deletes it, and then he gets banned off Twitter immediately. So the same guy gets really angry because, and keep in mind, it's like one freaking dude, maybe a handful of people that watched this weird channel back in the day. So I have I race in, this series now, but before then I would take it to road courses and tests and stuff. So I took it to Daytona, and I wrecked my NASCAR stock car. And a bunch of my followers were like, hey, do you make a GoFundMe? And I didn't want to, because you know how GoFundMes are. You make one, people are going to be like, you're a bitch, you son of a bitch, how dare you? You robbing. So I was like, all right, whatever. But then I decided to, because like 3 people in my community was like, dude, we'll fund you and help you out. And I was like, whatever, fuck it. I don't want to give up the dream yet. So I did it. And I put the goal at like 15,000. And I ended up making like 11,400 and something, I think. And I said anything that is over how much it cost, I'll use it on my 24 car, which is my second car, or brakes for my 12 car. And we went over like $4,000. It cost, I think, $6,500 or $7,000 to fix the car. I can't remember. I think it was $6,500. And then I literally bought a set of brakes, like NASCAR brakes, which are like $4,000, $5,000. And that was it. That was all of it. And I was like, hell yeah. And the one guy that donated like the $4 or $5 grand, he donated it and with the subtext of saying get brakes. And I was like, all right, cool. So that's what I did. And dude, this one guy and a couple other people were like, you scam people out of an extra $5 grand, which went towards the brakes. And like, we're making videos about it and no one cared because it's people donated willingly. And I know the people, I know them personally.
For your car.
Yeah. Like I know them personally. I know the people that did it personally. There's one guy that did it just for the brakes. It's like one of the guys that's actually on my team now that travels with me. So
I think that's probably like one of the most fascinating things is like when people talk about people donating online, or if you have for whatever reason, right? People can do whatever they want with their money, right? And I've been very consistent about that the entire time, right? I think that if you're upfront if you say here are our goals, right, and this is what we're going to do with the money that is donated, or whatever it may be, it's people have to make that decision. Now, if you were to say, here are our goals, and then never do them, well, then there's issues, right? But I think that some people have a hard time getting over the idea that people just want to support people that they like and they appreciate.
Yeah, and I've never understood the issue is. Look, I get it. Like, there's people in the chat that have started YouTubes, they weren't successful, and instead of them pushing harder for success, they just get mad at the people that are already successful, and they want to take them down. So I say this every stream: people will be super chatting, especially when the super chats are really heavy, like they're going ham as fuck. I will reiterate this disclaimer to the chat: look, guys, you do not have to super chat me. That is not this is a lot tonight. You don't have to do that. It is never required. I'm just glad you're here. Dude, there are people I talk to every single day in DMs on Instagram or Twitter that have never dropped a cent for me. I just appreciate all these people being here. Right. And it doesn't matter. They're like, oh, you beg for money. I'm like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do? Just turn off monetization forever to prove to you? Even then, I would still be a piece of shit to these like select few people that didn't make it. And, so I don't really worry about it anymore. I haven't thought about that shit in a long time.
Good for you.
Because you're never going to be able to like get those people out of your community. It's going to be like that. I ended up getting swatted by the guy. This is the end of that story. So I got swatted. And that was the last straw. I was like, fuck this. I'm tired of this. So I found out who it was. I hired this person, found out who it was, what country they lived in. Wasn't in America. Got in contact with those people, and then I got in contact with YouTube directly, and I filed what is it? They released a video of me. It's like a crying compilation, I think, because damn it, Adam, he's like, you're laughing. No, stop laughing, you bastard. No, so I made like I don't remember. It was like my first. It was like 1 or 2 streams where, dude, I grew up in a trailer park, man. So when I saw like $2,000 in super chats in like 20 minutes pop up, like I got emotional. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. This is the craziest thing that's ever happened. So I got a little emotional. So look, dude, I'm an emotional man. I watch Moana. I shoot the tears out like bullets, man. It's just when the little baby girl goes towards the ocean and then the ocean parts and there's the heart of the ocean and it goes, hey, dude, I lose my shit every time. I can't help it. So, dude, it's just weird. Even old beer commercials do that shit to me. So it's whatever. Dude released the crying compilation, which is fine. And I was talking to YouTube and talking to my YouTube partner manager. And I found out I could, since this guy's reposting content, I can flag him and then he could flag me back and it'll reverse. So no harm, no foul. But to flag me back, he has to list his full name and his email address, which I know he won't do because he's 100% like he got me swatted. So I was like, fuck this. I'm done with this motherfucker. So I was like, okay, well, at least he can give me my email so I can file a lawsuit. His full name, his email, and I can file a lawsuit when you start getting this bullshit rolling. So he gives a fake name, of course, and a fake email. And YouTube knows this because I'm talking to YouTube and my partner manager every day about it. So they're like, yeah, he gave a fake email and fake name. And his address was listed as a McDonald's in New York City for some reason. So YouTube emails him back and they're like, hey, you gave a fake name and fake email, which is against our TOS. And they demanded the accurate information and he deleted all of his channels like that day.
So he got caught and he ran away.
And look, I got to reiterate, I've never flagged anybody for anything. I don't believe in that at all. But once that guy got me swatted, I was like, I just need to know his name so I can file a lawsuit, and then it will reverse the flagging. I don't care. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I just need his name because you can't get his name otherwise. And then he deleted his channel because he would rather lose his whole channel with all his subscribers, all his videos, and everything instead of giving me his email because he knew he would lose in a lawsuit in 1 fucking second, right? And he would probably get charged with some kind of terrorism in his country because I know it was definitely not illegal in his country or not legal in his country. He lived in like New Zealand and Australia at one point.
Man.
So that was the whole deal, and then he disappeared. But you'll see him come back every once in a while. Like if you ever have me on as a guest, or if I'm on any other shows, you'll see him in the chat.
Is he in our chat? Is he in our chat right now?
Yeah, he's in chat right now.
Okay.
He copy and paste the same shit over and over.
Okay. It's like, how sad.
Dude, it's been years. It's been years. He's silly. He's so silly.
That means you made it, though.
So,
you did it.
Good for you.
Listen, I have people who still follow me around for things that happened in 2008.
Yeah.
So like it sticks with people longer than it'll stick with you. You know, that's the thing is like you're able to move on, but some people it just whatever it is, sometimes people just take things and they'll hold on to them and it'll just literally be a part of their personality in time.
And it's hard. It's hard for me to be mad because I understand it's like a mental health thing. Like I understand how my mind works, dude. Once I see something, maybe it upsets me, which doesn't usually happen very often.
Mm-hmm.
I forget about it in 2 seconds and I move on. If I see a YouTuber, if I'm watching a YouTube stream, they say some bullshit and I'm not really attached to the creator at all, I'll be like, it's a little weird, and I'll just hit the YouTube home button and I'll go click on another video and start watching or listening in the background while I'm doing whatever I'm doing.
Right.
And I never think about it again. But then you have other people that they'll hyper focus on it for years and try to like ruin somebody's life over it. And I can't necessarily be mad because I understand that it's a mental health condition. They're suffering from something they can't freaking control. And it sucks that it ends up getting people hurt. And in some situations they get killed because of swattings and stuff like that. Which is their end goal. They don't want you to not make money. They want you to die.
Yeah. I think that's probably, I think you can talk to pretty much anybody online and they will, I think we all agree that there should be serious consequences to any sort of swatting or doxing or anything along those lines. And the fact that there's not in this age of information, like it's crazy to think that that's not even a federal crime or just something that causes serious repercussions attached to that. Just from a safety perspective, man, it's scary. So
there's a serious lack of self accountability and the desire to blame others. You know, everyone's told they're perfect the way they are, which is like the biggest crock of shit that anyone can be told, because you can always be better, you can always improve, you can always do whatever you're doing in a better way to be more successful and more successful. But people don't want to hear that. They just want the baseline. So when they see other people being successful, it's like, I need to remove them instead of look at yourself and be like, how can I be more successul myself? Like, what are they doing that works that I can maybe actually learn from and become better myself? They don't want to do that. They want the easy road, the participation trophy in life. It's like, that's not going to get you anywhere.
It's whatever, dude. It's insane to me because I would even have level-headed conversations with trolls. I'm super open to it. I don't get angry at all. I'm like, dude, let's talk about this. Like, what can you do to improve your personal situation? Because obviously you're going through some shit right now. So what's going on? And they just get even more mad. And what you said is perfect. People are told their whole life that they're perfect. My parents didn't do that shit because I was in a trailer park. Obviously shit wasn't perfect. So, they never really said that, but I think it was, especially in the 90s, that new generation, every kid was told they can be anything they want to be and they're perfect how they are. But when you hear the phrase "you're perfect how you are," and that is reaffirmed to you your entire growth part of your life, why would you self-improve?
Exactly.
You have people that peaked at 16 in high school, and then they get in their old pickup and they go down to the Piggly Wiggly parking lot to drink, and they're like 38 and they're talking about that game in high school where they caught the
Right.
touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm like, there is always room for self-improvement. And you're right. It's
100%.
participation trophies that coupled with social media destroyed our current culture.